Hello, Ken Spriggs here with a mail haul review of some products that I just got in here yesterday and today. I'm not going to do a full review on some of these, primarily because they've been done by other people extensively up to this point, and I'll show you here in a moment. But one of them I'm going to go over in some more detail because it's a little more unique, scratch-built resin model that I found that somebody has released that's really awesome. So the first thing I want to go over, and I just got this in yesterday, is the brand new shuttlecraft from Star Trek, original shuttlecraft, the brand new tooling from Polar Lights Round 2. Really nice box artwork. Some really cool info on the back of the box. And as you're probably aware, this is a brand new, larger version, a new retooled version. The original one from AMT and the one that's been re-released was really inaccurate in so many ways. This one is much more accurate. It's a larger size. It's really well done. And there are several videos out that are really good if you want to go out and check them out on YouTube and get a full review of this kit. Also, Randy Cooper, who originally had made a larger resin version of this model and did an interior, is adapting that interior to fit into this one here. And he's been showing some pictures on Facebook, so if you're interested in that, check it out. I'm going to get one of those myself. But really cool kit. Definitely want to build that at some point. The next one that I got in today is the Aztec decal set for the Polar Lights Discovery Enterprise 1/1000 scale, which was just released. I had already purchased, I can't remember if I talked about these in another video, but I don't believe I did a review on these either, for the same reason that these were reviewed extensively before they were released to the public, because I guess people got some test prints or some initial ones, so it didn't seem necessary that I do a full review again. But really awesome kits. So I got the ship. Is that right side up? Yeah. The again, the Enterprise from Discovery. Really cool artwork on the back. And I also got the light kit. And all of these were made by Polar Lights to go with this model. Really cool model. Really well designed. It's designed for the lights that they made to go inside, with all the clearances and the places to put the lights. It's pretty extensive. Little motors to spin the nacelles, which is awesome. And then the aztecing decals, which are cool. Since this was announced and I pre-ordered it, they Lou Dalmasso from Aztec Dummy released a masking set, which I also want to get, and I want to kind of try my hand at that. I've never really done the aztecing on a starship before, so that would be a first for me. I think this would be the right size ship and a cool ship to start with that, and then use a combination possibly of the decals also, so we'll see. But really nice kits, awesome kits. If you're interested in some full reviews, just go check it out on YouTube. There are some really good channels out there that have gone and had some full build reviews of all the different parts of these. So, all right, the last model that I want to show you, like I said, is a scratch built, and it's a 6-inch version of the Jupiter 2 in resin from a gentleman named Ed Holt. A really well designed small little kit. I saw this kit last year at Wonderfest. He had completed the exterior of the saucer and a little bit in the interior. The kit actually has a pretty much full complete interior for the upper part of the saucer, which is amazing, including landing gear that can be positioned in different ways, and some clear parts, and all the different things that you need to build this up in a nice smaller little package, which I like. If you've probably seen some of my videos in the past, I kind of prefer the smaller ships to the really huge ones. Some of the huge ones I like, and the bigger ones I like to some degree, but I like the real tiny and the small. Obviously, I started on and completed most of a really tiny little Jupiter 2, only a few inches in diameter. That's a 3D printed one, and did some lights in it. Did not complete that. I will at some point in the future, but I want to do some of the similar things on this one here, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So keep in mind too, none of these kits are ones that I'm building right now. I'm just showing you these. I just got them in. They're pretty cool. Right now I'm still going to be building my my large spindrift, my commission build of the 2001 Discovery, and I'm also working on a buddy build with Augie Gonzalez from Interstellar Modeler of the Predator Pod ship, which there'll be the first part coming out on his channel soon, and I'll put that in my community once that's posted, and you'll be able to check that out. So, okay, let's get and take a look at the small 6-inch Jupiter 2 from Ed Holt. All right, and here is the Jupiter 2 kit from Ed Holt. It's a kit that he scratch built himself. It's about 6 inches, almost exactly 6 inches wide. It's a really cool little size. About maybe about 2 inches thick when you look at the dome and the engine core. So quite a bit of parts, as you can see. So really well designed, really well done. So you have the top and the bottom of the ship, the saucer. And the top has the little mechanism built in for the dome, under the dome. And the different markings, the door and the window, or the window and the door and the side portal window are hollow. They open up. All right, here's the inside. A little bit of cleanup. Now keep in mind, of course, this is a resin kit, so there's going to be some cleanup for sure, but very nice and smooth. I have the bottom over here, and this whole part opened up, which is nice to be able to light the engine core underneath, which I plan to do. And a really clever mechanism for the landing gear. So you have these pieces here that are on a pin, and then you put some tubes over it and glue those in place so that this is solid, but this is movable. It can open up, it can be pushed up. So when it's in there all the way, it's going to be flush, as though the landing gear section is up. And what you would do then is, once it's connected, you would press, go ahead and show you a piece here. Oh, anyway, it's hard to tell because it's on there permanent, but you would take the landing gear and you would, let me see how that works. This way. You would stick it up, press it up in, and there'd be a magnet that would hold this in place, and it would lock into place and hold the ship up. And then when you removed it, that piece would fall back down again and just stay in place. So you don't have to worry about taking pieces off and putting them back on. The landing gear covers would just stay in there, and they would just be held on by pins like that. So pretty cool little mechanism. And he included the magnets and the tubing to do that. And other parts that you would need in order to finish putting those in. So that's a really cool feature. But then you have the bottom of it. Sorry. There's the bottom. Okay. So that's pretty cool. While I'm at it, let me show you the landing gear. So you have the landing gear pieces, the steps that are all one piece. And there's that little hole right there at the top that you would drill out and put a magnet in. So this part here would correspond to a magnet stuck in right here. And here's the other parts for the landing gear covers. And then you have the landing pads already attached to some brass rod. So to clean up a bit. And then those go, you have to, I'll have to look at the instructions on it, but you have to attach these through this as well, and they get glued on. And there's 3 of those. All right, so those are really cool. And then you have the interior floor. The interior is really quite nicely detailed, and it's going to build up really cool. I just sat these pieces, the two chairs and the console there on the floor, and that center panel as well. It's not glued on, it's just stuck on there right now. So that's pretty cool. And many of these parts, like the control console, are clear. So if you want to light them underneath, you can certainly do so. And I'll show you these here in a minute. So then you have these clear tube pieces for the cryo tubes. Those are pretty cool. And you have these pieces that are the top caps. Those go on top, obviously. Right on top there, so that's cool. Okay. And of course you have 6 of those to go over there. And then there's one more tube. This big thicker tube, this is for the elevator. And it goes there in the back. And then the way it works is you have a clear tube, and then he included 2 decals for the grid work, one which is black, probably to light block it, and one which is silver. Pretty cool. You just stick those over the clear part if you want to and make it that way. I may or may not scratch build that particular piece, only because I can do it pretty easily with some styrene tubing, or not tubing, but some styrene stripping. So, but that's still pretty cool. At the end of this video, I'll show you some screenshots that he had sent me showing how those all would look. And then we have your 2 vacuum form bubbles, one for the top of the ship, of course, and one of them for the control console in the center of the ship. So those are really cool. And then we have all the parts for the interior. So every wall is represented here. Some with some fantastic detail, the main ones that you're really going to see and are concerned about. So here is one of the 3 walls behind the cryo tubes. Really cool. They have that little aluminum looking mechanism in the center, the little gold domes on the sides. It's kind of hard to tell because it's in clear to get an idea, but the detail is really nice. So you have 3 of those. Obviously those go right behind the freezing tubes. You have the let me kind of continue around that way. So then we have the wall behind the elevator, and to the right of it, the little door that goes into where the space pod is. Really nicely detailed as well. Again, hard to see when it's clear. Let me move this over. And then you have the wall, upside down. You have the wall with a little red ball, gyro ball in the center. All the little squares, the orange and the yellow squares over in red over to the left. The little computer things over to the right. Very cool. And then the far left, you just have a blank wall. And it has, oh, sorry. I think that's the right way. Yeah, that's the right way. You have that little console next to the cockpit. There would be a door here leading out to the main door, but you don't really see that when it's sealed up, so I'm not too worried about it. But that doesn't have a door on it, but that's fine. I think I missed one. Yes, I did. This one here. The one next to the elevator, you have the I might have this backwards. No, I don't. You have the little square rungs for the ladder. You have another door, and you have the little oxygen tanks or whatever those are supposed to be on the left side. So, okay. So pretty cool. And then in between them, you have the, not sure what you would call them, the posts or the curved parts that go up. And they're actually lit sometimes in the show. So again, these are clear. If you wanted to, you could paint the sides, leave the edge clear, and run a light from the bottom, which I might consider. Actually, those would be cool to have a separate circuit and have them like blink on and off, because I think those are usually lit up whenever there's like some emergency or they're in trouble or something. But you've got 6 of the small ones, and then you have the 2 larger ones, the curved ones that go up next to the cockpit. So these just go right over here. And each of these has slots all around them in order to fit all the parts, including little holes and pegs to accommodate the like the wall sections and things like that. They're all keyed in. So very nice, very nicely designed. Sorry for the shakiness there. And then the last one is the engine core, which is also in a clear. The openings that light up are recessed a little bit. So what I'll probably end up doing on this, because I want to light it up, would be to put some masking medium or something like that all around the little squares, or possibly make some masks and just pop them in there, tape it off, and then just paint the whole thing black, and then aluminum once I get it in place, so I could take it off and just light it up. So, okay. Very cool, very comprehensive kit. It also has some templates for the windows and some clear plastic. So there's a clear sheet of plastic. Looks like there's 2 of them. This looks like a sticker, so it's just a template. I would imagine you just stick it on the plastic and cut it out, so it helps you to get the right size of that. All right. So all in all, a really cool kit. Really well done. And as I said, keep in mind, this is a resin kit. So if you've not built a resin kit before, just be prepared. There's going to be some cleanup. You're going to have to cut some things off, like these pieces here. It's understood. It's a little different to work with because you got to use CA glue to do it. But it's nicely designed. You have 2 little pegs where the floor goes into, so you can line it up correctly. But definitely really cool kit. A lot of potential for this, and I'm definitely going to want to build it at some point and light it up and have the engine core spinning and the little dome at the top spinning. So, and I know that's not the way it's supposed to be, but and it's not flush because I have to sand some, but there's the profile of it. So really cool little smaller ship. Not as small as my tiny little 3D printed one that I mostly completed, and certainly not as big as the larger polar lights and or the Mobius versions of this. So I like the size of it, and I like the ability to be able to light it up. And he showed too, you could put 2 AA batteries on the sides of this and wire them up. He even sells a light kit separately that he offered, but I'm just going to go ahead and light up mine on my own. So really cool, highly recommended. It's really cool. I think that it's definitely well made and designed. The kit itself is $185 for all of this, and it was like $15 for shipping, so $200 total was the entire ship. So I think well worth it. Very well designed, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. Go ahead and send him an email or send him an instant message on Messenger, and I'll include that link at the end of the video if you're interested in checking this kit out from him. So all right, so definitely take a look at this. Thanks. All right, so Like I said, I'm not building these kits right now, but they will be in the future. So we'll come back to those and check them out. But if you're interested, certainly check these out. I recommend every single one of these that I purchased. I think they're pretty awesome. If you're interested in the Jupiter 2 from Ed Holt, I will have his contact info in the description below. You can check that out and hit him up for a copy of this as well. So, all right, stay tuned for some future videos. There will be a video from Interstellar Modeler coming soon with the first part of our buddy build and showing the great progress that both of us have made. And I will be posting a video soon showing some work that I've started on the big giant spindrift. So stay tuned for those. And thank you to all my new subscribers. And I will see you in the next video.